So last week was pretty big within Call of Duty World War II. The introduction of Operation Liberty Strike obviously gave us a lot of new stuff to play around with. We ended up getting the introduction of the new community challenge. We ended up getting the new introduction of new bribes, new weapons, new collections, new customization of items, all that kind of stuff. So last week, admittedly, was something that we had a lot to work for. But this week, we have a big week ahead of us, not necessarily because of a ton of new things dropping, because of some things we'll learn about later on in the week that might have some big implications on how we play the game a little bit further going forward. So while they're not necessarily as big as, say, the Division overhaul, there are some things that may have the potential to affect players on a regular basis. So that's it. In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at 8 things in Call of Duty World War II to look out for in this week. So let's firstly talk about the things that are definitely going to be changing out, because as of tomorrow, we'll have the weekly refresh for Operation Liberty Strike, and so therefore we'll get a new week of content for this event. So the first thing you might notice is the orders will be changing out tomorrow. Now, of course, we're gonna have 3 more weekly orders given in Major Howards, but one thing that I'm definitely curious to see if it will change at all is the daily order, because this past week, we ended up seeing the daily order of complete 30 multiplayer matches for a Liberty Strike bribe, and that was something that every single day, if you ended up completing the 30 matches, you could come back and get a new Liberty Strike bribe as a result. So I know I mentioned yesterday that there wasn't really a cap that you had, but of course they were still daily orders, so at the most you'd end up seeing the ability to get 7 Liberty Strike bribes out of those daily orders. Now, I don't know if anybody actually did that. I know that I probably am sitting at, I think, 4 or so, or just about to hit 4, one or the other, but as of last week and what was listed on the Liberty Strike event page on CallOfDuty.com, it laid out the actual calendar of what was going to be happening in that week, and so therefore we ended up seeing that the daily order associated with just week 1 was that complete 30 multiplayer matches challenge that you had for the daily order. So that might change out for tomorrow and what the next upcoming week holds, but at the moment we don't know. I definitely would love to see maybe say a different challenge for other strike bribes, or maybe even I'd love to see a daily order for the Freedom Fighter weapon bribe, though I don't think that'll happen because then you end up getting, again, at most 7 variants guaranteed of the new weapons, but one can hope, right? Next up, let's talk about the weapon contract, because that's guaranteed to, of course, refresh. Butcher is now going to take away the blunderbuss from this past week and replace it with the Stinger LMG. Now, this one is honestly a great weapon. I think you should definitely take advantage of this one. We don't know the exact contract specifics at the moment. As we've seen previously, though, seems to be a little bit of a pattern between 4,000 and 5,000 armory credits to purchase the contract, about a 35-minute to maybe an hour time frame, and of course, a few kills here and there that you need to get. It's not anything too extravagant or over the top. So it's pretty much guaranteeing that you'll get it, but you still have to do a slight challenge in order to get from A to B and getting that weapon. So the Stinger is a 2-shot. Of course, you add on rapid fire. It's definitely fantastic. So if you end up having the armored credits and you don't already have a variant of the Stinger, I'd definitely say go for it. One thing that will not be changing, though, is the zombie contracts. Those actually won't refresh, and those are going to be live until the end of the event on the 24th. For those of you guys that don't know, there are 4 zombies contracts in multiplayer that will allow you to go into zombies in a certain time frame and complete one objective that is laid out with these 4 challenges, and so therefore sequentially you'll unlock different uniforms that are brand new within multiplayer that are from the zombies game mode, and they look pretty cool. I definitely think that if you have the opportunity to and you want to go play some zombies and chill out a little bit, it's a great way to still even get more stuff for your multiplayer guys, even if you aren't playing it. So again, definitely give that a go if you have not tried it out already. But nonetheless, next up, we should have a new mode coming this week also. Now, we ended up seeing the Wanderlust featured game mode where everybody had Wanderlust within World War II in that specific mode. You could end up playing with whatever division you wanted, but it didn't matter because, of course, with the Wanderlust basic training, nobody really has a set weapon they're using or anything. It's just which division do you want to rank up, essentially, or which division do you want to utilize those tools they have. And so with that, it was a lot of fun, but up on the deck this week, I would expect one-shot or hardcore ricochet. In the official blog post announcing Operation Liberty Strike, they ended up addressing that these 2 would be coming, but that was really the only mention we've seen so far. We didn't have Sledge touch on it in their mini update on Friday. We haven't seen anything yet for the official calendar refreshing, so we don't know which one it'll be, but one-shot or hardcore ricochet, keep your eyes out for those ones, because probably going to be a matter of flipping and flopping, so one you can maybe expect this week and one the next week, but regardless, those 2 modes are still on the deck for what we can see in the featured playlist just out of Operation Liberty Strike. Now, next after that, we probably will have another midweek mobilization happening. We don't know exactly what it will be, but last week's was a triple feed XP event, which we had double division, double soldier, and double weapon XP, which was absolutely fantastic. I don't think we'll be getting that again for this week, but it might be something of one of the three potentially, maybe double weapon XP, maybe double XP. And then of course that would also move us over into the weekend warfare, which will probably continue whatever we see for the midweek mobilization, but in a specific playlist perhaps, but something that will give us a reason to grind out over the weekend, which I'm always all for. I love the extra boost, whether it be weapon XP, division XP, though they may not be the most sought after thing in terms of XP boost compared to soldier XP, I'll still take it. But that's something we can look out for both of those probably happening. We seem to be getting them on a regular basis regardless of if we have an event, so I would expect them to be coming and announced tomorrow, but keep an eye out for that. After that, we should see some progress on the community challenge. As you guys know, we end up having a community challenge for Operation Liberty Strike where we can get 5 items, one being already unlocked, that being the Canada calling card and a zombies consumable. Then we end up seeing the United Kingdom weapon charm, then we have the 1911 American 2 variant, then we have a Fez special helmet, then we end up seeing the M1 Independent 2 heroic variant as that highest reward for the community challenge. And along with that, you also get a zombies camo and everything underneath that, a zombies consumable supply drop for you zombies fans. But with that said, we ended up completing the first tier of this a couple of days ago, so we should be coming closer to that of the second tier here in the next couple of days, and maybe even the third tier if we end up grinding out enough with this to get that 1911 American 2 variant, maybe even by the end of the week or by the next weekly refresh of Call of Duty World War II, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. It's possible we end up doing that, but as we detailed in yesterday's video, we are a little bit behind the 8 ball in terms of pacing. While PS4 doesn't have any tracker of the progress on the news tab like we've seen previously, apparently Xbox users actually do, to which feel free to confirm or deny that in the comment section down below. I'd expect that to be coming in tomorrow's weekly refresh. I feel like we will be getting one soon, but I'm a little surprised we haven't gotten one already. But regardless, like I said, to make this progress happen, the best thing you can do is play Infected. Play it because those matches last about 2-3 minutes, and then of course jumping into another match after that, the whole process is probably 3.5 to 4 minutes long compared to, say, a TDM game or a kill confirmed game that'll last 6, 7, 8 minutes plus another minute in the menus, and then it takes of course astronomically longer. And if you end up playing things like Search and Destroy or Domination, game modes that will last 10 plus minutes, of course that just makes it even longer. So the best way we can grind out games here for this is to play Infected, because the challenge is 260 million multiplayer match wins, which is essentially just games completed, since regardless of your particular outcome, somebody in that game is going to win, so therefore that'll count as a win overall, and therefore it's pretty much matches completed. So play Infected, grind that out. We definitely need to do some work here on that because I want to get that M1 Independent 2 variant, if I'm totally honest with you. But that leads me into the next 2 things, and the final 2 things I want to talk about with this one, and they're actually rather big ones. In the little mini update that Sledgehammer gave us over on Reddit instead of a blog post we actually get on Fridays normally, Sledge ended up mentioning that they will be having a stream with some of their developers to discuss the future of Cavalry Division. Now, they ended up saying in that post that this was going to be addressing some concerns the community had, and so therefore this kind of makes me think that if they're having a sit down with the community, it's not just going to be explaining some of the design intent with it and saying, you know what, hey, we get this, but we're going to keep it like that. This kind of makes me think that we're going to be seeing some changes and they're going to be detailing them live in front of us here for this. And so we don't have any specific ETA on when this will happen or anything to really expect in terms of these changes potentially that may be happening, but it's definitely something to keep your eye out for. Now, as of recording this, again, we don't have any indication as to when this will be, but I would guess that maybe it's going to be tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday. We usually see some things happen in the Call of Duty marketing window for all 3 of those dates from time to time, though Tuesday is of course when we debut a lot of stuff first on PlayStation 4, but Friday is also something in which we'll see the weekend warfare happen, and so therefore it might be a more relaxed live stream and just casual discussion between Sledge and the community. So I don't know exactly how this will work out, but make sure you end up sticking around for that one because there might be some big things here to detail with this. Now, the final thing that I do want to talk about is the blog post, which again, we did not have formally on Friday, but we were promised a much larger one here coming up this week. Now, the past 2, of course, were a little smaller on the grand scale of things, and honestly, I was a little bummed out because I've been really hoping for some information on MP rewards or Master Prestige rewards, and I know a lot of you guys as well have been also. So that's something that while this next blog update is supposedly going to be much bigger, I would expect that to be coming, if at any other time, that'd be the most perfect in my book, to see that happen as such. And so therefore, I'm kind of expecting MP rewards to be discussed or officially debuted to all of us on Friday, but I don't know, it might be dealing with some other different little secrets here that are coming in the future, some different game modes, some different cool things we might be seeing in World War II, but to me, still the biggest thing at the moment is Master Prestige rewards. It's been discussed for months now, and we saw the slight increase to the armory credits that you get from the mail station, which I'm totally thankful for. They actually make a world of a difference over time, but still, in the grand scheme of things, Master Prestige players, and myself as one, are definitely hoping for a little bit more in terms of the ability to keep us grinding the game out even further. Because when you hit Master Prestige after all that time grinding, it does kind of taper off in terms of what rewards you for continuing to play even after you hit that air quote max rank that's designated as Master Prestige. So while there are 945 more ranks after 10th Prestige, level 55, what keeps you going? So hopefully we get some information on that in the blog post, but that's something, of course, every week you should look out for the blog post from Sledge. But regardless, that's gonna wrap up this video here at this one. That's been 8 things to look out for in Call of Duty World War II this week. I'm really looking forward to the blog post and, of course, the stream from Sledge later on in the week at some point talking about the Cavalry Division. Curious to see what they will announce in both of those, but we'll see in time. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully found this insightful. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. What are you looking out for in World War II this week, if anything at all? And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II content, anything Call of Duty related, news, information, best class setups, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram as well, get a little more active over there, so that is also down there if you guys want to check that out. But all that said and out of the way, hopefully you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.